Ethan had always heard the stories about Black Hollow Forest. Everybody in town knew them. Stories of people going in and never coming out, of strange lights flickering between the trees, of whispers carried on the wind when no one was there. But Ethan didn't believe in that kind of thing. Ghost stories were for little kids and gullible townsfolk. He was neither. So, when he found himself running late and decided to take the shortcut through the woods, he didn't hesitate. It would shave 20 minutes off his walk home. No big deal. At first, everything seemed fine. The air was crisp, and the only sound was the crunch of dead leaves beneath his boots. The moon cast long, jagged shadows through the twisted branches above him, but he ignored them. It was just a forest, nothing more. But the further he walked, the quieter it became. The normal sounds of the woods, chirping insects, rustling leaves, the occasional hoot of an owl, just stopped. It was the kind of silence that made the hair on the back of his neck stand up. Like the whole forest was listening. He took a deep breath and kept walking. Probably just his imagination. Then snap, a branch broke somewhere behind him. He froze. The sound had been close. Too close. Slowly, he turned his head, scanning the shadows. Nothing moved. Nothing looked out of place. But something was off. He could feel it, like the air itself had thickened around him. Ethan shook his head and kept walking, faster now. Then came the whisper. It wasn't loud. It wasn't even clear. Just a breath of sound, a stretched-out syllable with no words. It came from the trees. No, not from the trees. Between them, he spun around, his chest tightening. Still nothing. His pulse hammered in his ears. Keep moving. He wasn't going to stand around waiting for his own paranoia to get the best of him. But then he saw them. Eyes, not one pair. Dozen, maybe more. They glowed faintly in the dark, silver and motionless, watching. Not blinking, not moving, just there. Ethan's breath caught in his throat. His feet took an involuntary step backward. The moment he moved, the eyes, every single one, shifted with him. The whispering started again. It was louder now, layered, almost chanting. It wasn't in a language he knew. It wasn't in any language at all. It was just sound, drawn out, stretching, curling around him. Then the eyes moved, not like animals, not like people. They glided, too smooth, too fast, too unnatural. Ethan ran. Branches clawed at his face. The ground was uneven, threatening to trip him with every step, but he didn't stop. Couldn't stop. The whispering grew, rising like a storm. He didn't dare look back. He could feel them gaining. Up ahead, through the trees, light. The street, the edge of the forest. Safety. He pushed harder, lungs burning. The whispering was so loud now it felt like it was inside his head. And then he was out. He stumbled onto the pavement, falling to his knees, gasping for air. His body shook, his skin clammy. Slowly he turned back. The forest was still, silent. The trees stood like ancient sentinels, unmoving. There were no eyes, no whispers, no figures lurking between the trunks. For a long moment, Ethan just stared. Then, just as he was about to convince himself it was all in his head, he noticed something. A whisper, not from the trees this time, from his shadow. And the eyes? They were staring back at him from the darkness beneath his feet.